What's up everybody? In this video I'm comparing the iPhone XR with the iPhone SE 2020. I want to go through all the specs and how they compare with each other, and at the end of the video I'm going to tell you what I like and don't like about each of these phones, pros and cons, and which one is better and is it a good value in 2021. Let's go ahead and get started. So the iPhone XR was released in October of 2018, while the iPhone SE 2020 was released in April of 2020. Both of these phones are LTE 4G. They don't have 5G. As for pricing, these are very affordable phones. Great values here in 2021. For context, when the iPhone XR first launched, it was launched with a price of $750. The iPhone SE, when it launched, it was already super affordable. It was at $400. Now in 2021, iPhone XR is still being sold at Apple. You can get it for $500. The iPhone SE is still being sold at $400. But where it gets interesting is if you go on prepaid or the used market. The iPhone XR can be found brand new on prepaid at Cricket, for example, for as low as $250 brand new. And also you can find it on Swappa or other prepaid third-party used unlocked prices for as low as $250. The iPhone SE is even sweeter on prepaid. You can get it for as low as $50 on Cricket and routinely find it for like $150 on other prepaid or MVNO carriers. So both of these are very affordable phones, and they share that in common a lot. The iPhone XR was the first phone for iPhone that was very affordable, that had Face ID, and it came out after the $1,000 iPhone X. The iPhone SE 2020 was the second true budget iPhone. It succeeded the original iPhone SE that launched in 2016. That was basically an iPhone 6S and an iPhone 5 body. The iPhone 2020 is basically an iPhone 8 updated with newer specs of an iPhone 11. Basically, both of these phones are excellent values and are very relevant today in 2021, and the prices speak for themselves. I consider these to be the best deals on iPhones, best ones that you could pick up value for value. iPhone if you want the iPhone XR if you want Face ID, and the iPhone SE 2020 if you want to go strictly on price and have everything an iPhone has to offer. Basically, both of these phones will do pretty much everything that a $800 or $1,000 iPhone could do, and it does it step for step, performance wise, software wise. It will do everything that those really expensive phones will do at a fraction of the cost, and these phones will still be relevant in the future. So let's go into the overall size of the XR. It's 5.9 inches tall, 3 inches wide, 0.33 inches thick. The SE is 5.4 inches tall, 2.6 inches wide, 0.29 inches thick. For the weight, iPhone XR is 6.8 ounces. iPhone SE is 5.22 ounces. Build quality. They both have a glass front, glass back aluminum frame. So even though these phones are more budget here in 2021, they are very premium feeling, made out of premium materials, and they blow away a lot of these more expensive phones out of the water, most of them in Android world, but you cannot beat the premium quality that these phones are made out of. Both phones offer the eSIM, which basically means you could activate the phone with service without having a physical SIM card. And also it serves as a secondary SIM, so you can have two phone numbers and two different data plans at the same time. They both have IP67 dust and water resistance, so you can dunk them in water up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. They both have Retina displays. You have a 6.1 inch on the XR, 4.7 inch on the iPhone SE. And they differ, really. This is how they differ, is the screen to body ratio. You have 79% on the 10R, 65% on the iPhone SE, and that's because of those top and bottom bezels, and the bottom bezel houses the home button. So it has that older school look, but it gives you a more compact feeling if you don't want to get something bigger and go into the iPhone XR size. But for those that like bigger screens and just a bigger, heftier phone in general, the iPhone XR will serve that purpose. As for the resolution, you're both going to end up getting the same PPI. You got 326 PPI for both of these, which is not bad, which is not super good. It's pretty okay. It's right in the middle. I would like to see 400. That's where you see really nice screens in the 400 range, but right around 300 and 350, it's not too bad. Both of these phones really shine when it comes to the software. The XR launched with iOS 12 and the iPhone SE launched with iOS 13, but they both run the latest version of iOS 14 here in 2021. And both of these phones will get several more years of updates. So you're gonna get all the same software for the most part as the $1,000 iPhones and going forward. So you're not going to be really missing out on much by getting these phones versus those more expensive premium iPhones. The XR is rocking the A12 Bionic chip. The iPhone SE is rocking the A13 Bionic chip. Both of these chips are very powerful when they launched, and they're very powerful in 2021, and they will continue to be powerful for the years coming. Both of these phones start off at 64 gigs of internal storage, and they both have 3 gigs of RAM. Those specs, for 64 gigs, that's not too bad. I think most people can live with that if they just control their pictures and their videos, and they're just more conscious of what they have in their phones, and take advantage of in the cloud services. Although some other phones that are even cheaper have way more gigs of storage, or they have expandable storage on some Android phones. But 3 gigs of RAM is perfectly okay for both of these iPhones, because iOS and iPhones use RAM very efficiently, and these will be very, very powerful. They will be step in step with the newest processing power of the newest, more expensive iPhones. So you'll be running all your apps, your favorite apps, everyday apps, and they will not shut down in the background. They'll be up and running when you need them. Next, we're going to talk about the cameras. Both of these have a 12 megapixel camera on the back. These don't have double, triple, quadruple cameras like some iPhones and some Androids, but that's okay. Both of these phones film in 4K. Both of these phones' cameras are awesome. They are still go toe to toe for the most part as really expensive $1,000 flagships, and iPhone has always been known to have really great cameras. For the selfies, they both have a 7 megapixel selfie camera in the front, and they both record at 1080p, so an average selfie camera, but still very beautiful pictures and videos come out of these selfie cameras, or for your FaceTime and selfie videos and stuff. Both have stereo speakers, but neither of these have a headphone jack. You'll need an adapter for that, which for some people it might be a turnoff. Like if your Bluetooth fails or something like that and you want to connect your headphones, it might be a bummer. But if you fully embrace wireless, both of these have Bluetooth 5.0 and should connect to all your wireless devices, such as your smart bands, your smart watches, in particular your Apple Watch, your wireless headphones, in particular your AirPods, wireless speakers, so on and so forth. So these phones are still very modern, connecting to all your wireless devices. Both of these have NFC, which is basically used for the most part for Apple Pay, and they both have the Lightning port for charging. This is another difference where these phones really have a stark difference. The iPhone XR has Face ID for unlocking and security, while the iPhone SE has a fingerprint home button to unlock your device. Both are very reliable ways of unlocking your device. It's just a matter of preference. And last but not least is the battery. The iPhone XR has a approximately 2900 milliamp battery, while the iPhone SE approximately has 1800 milliamp battery. All I have to say from a first-hand experience that the iPhone XR battery lasts pretty much all day. The iPhone SE, on the other hand, that one will drain battery quicker and will not be available to use all day. That one will need to be charged. But luckily, both of these phones, if you need them to be charged, they will charge fast. They both come with fast charging. You got 15 watts on the XR, 18 watts on the SE, and they both charge 50% in 30 minutes. And they both support wireless charging. So what are my thoughts after going through all the specs and the comparisons and stuff like that? Well, all I gotta say is that both of these phones are very, very good, but there has to be a winner, there has to be a difference. So let's start off with the nice pros of the iPhone XR. Well, it's gonna be the fact that it has a really big screen and a really good battery. The iPhone SE, on the other hand, that one has a super low price, and it's pretty much a little bit newer than the iPhone XR with the processing power and the chip. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much the only difference. They both perform very, very well. They both have the same storage. They both have the same RAM. The biggest differences between these two is going to be the screen and the bezels and the battery life. The iPhone XR has great battery life. The iPhone SE, not so much great battery life, has average at most. So that's something to think about. But at the end of the day, both of these offer great value. If you pick up either of these phones, there's no reason for you to choose a $1,000 phone. You could pay $250 for the iPhone XR, or you could pay $50, as low as $50 on the SE, and both of them will do the job just as good at a way lower price. And I could see these phones being good for several more years. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.